14 hours in Dubai. Find a gym in the airport. Grind. 10 more to Perth. Straight to ESPN. Hit. Meet Make-A-Wish families. QB1 stuff. What it takes to be a WWE wrestler. Thank you to all. Sorry, Cody. Felt like I needed to share.
Triple H, man, please stop with all this nonsense. Cody Rhodes is not our QB1, okay? I'm sick of hearing this QB1 propaganda that's based upon the simple fact that Triple H does not know how to build a star on his own, alright? Are we all forgetting that Vince McMahon was the one that flew the jets and flew all the way to Atlanta, to the Rhodes household, to get Cody back in the WWE? That is Vince McMahon's QB1, not you, Triple H, alright? Your QB1 is Tommaso Ciampa. And where is he at? The spontaneous tweets from Triple H glazing Cody Rhodes needs to stop. The fact that he uses football terms, QB1, to describe his top guy is ridiculous, man. What is this obsession with ESPN? What is this obsession with mainstream sports? This guy needs to stay in his lane and just understand that none of us give a shit about a QB1, a quarterback, a hockey player, some random horseback rider. Who cares, okay? Any other sport is irrelevant to WWE. Triple H, he has this idea in his head that he's like, oh yeah, if I please the higher-ups of like the NBA and these major league sports, then like I can be finally accepted as a sport. Triple H is trying his best to sit at the cool kids' lunch table, man, alright? And you can see it within every single aspect of the WWE, man. First of all, he's on ESPN, right? He probably begged for that deal, right? Then he's like, being friends with Pat McAfee. Then he's hugging Tyrese Halliburton. Come on, man. All right, Triple H, all of a sudden you're a big football fan. All of a sudden you're just, oh yeah, you and Pat are friends. You and Tyrese are friends. Like, come on, bro. That is the only reason he's spending the extra time to network with Pat, with Tyrese, with all these other athletes, because he wants to be accepted. He wants the appearance that he's in this position of like the NBA people, the fucking UFC people, right? It's just ridiculous, okay? Cody Rhodes, as much as I do, enjoy some of his work, I think he has lost the hunger that he once had, man, right? If you go watch his AEW promos, you can tell there's a difference there. Cody Rhodes had a chip on his shoulder in AEW. He put every ounce of energy in these promos. You can see the veins popping in his neck. To me, this was the Cody Rhodes I want to see every single promo, every single segment. I want that passion, all right? The fire is gone within Cody Rhodes, all right? The fact that this guy wanted to drop the belt. What QB1 wants to drop the belt? What QB1 wants to, oh, hey coach, can I go sit on the bench? That does not sound like QB1 material, all right? Straight up, all right? The fact that this guy also is like, taking like Hollywood roles and shit. Come on, bro. That is not a QB1, all right? Somebody who's like a QB1 to me, I consider a QB1 forever, is somebody like Randy Orton, somebody like John Cena, right? These guys are QB1s. These guys can lead the pack in the locker room, in the ring, promos, everything, okay? They bleed wrestling, all right? With Cody Rhodes, he also stated recently that there's nobody else in the WWE that can be referred to QB1, right? He believes that he's the rightful owner of that name. He's the rightful guy to be called QB1, to lead the fucking company. But that idea stems from the fact that he's an entitled nepotism baby, alright? That's what it is, alright? Dusty Rhodes, right? Held him in his arms, rockabye baby, feeding him fucking gourmet meals ever since he was a child, alright? I don't want to hear it, okay? Look, Triple H always yaps about dynamic characters, complex characters, but then you book Cody Rhodes with the most monotonous fucking stale ass gimmick in the whole world, okay? American smiley face guy. That is his fucking gimmick. That is his shtick. Alright, there's no edge. There's no coolness with Cody Rhodes, okay? The only thing cool is that fucking stupid logo of the skull and, him doing the taunt. Whoa, whatever, okay? Gets the crowd going, looks cool sometimes. The jacket is cool. But his character, okay? I'm not talking about the attire. You slap that shit on fucking anybody, they look like a star. Look, I'll give Triple H presentation, okay? He has good presentation, okay? But once you get past that presentation, right? Once you look a little closer at that presentation, it's just a nothing burger, okay? Think about it. Aleister Black, for example. He does the same shit with Aleister Black. He's like so fucking cool apparently. You know, he comes up from the ramp. He has the whole he has like fucking candles all around him, right? He's got all the fog machines in the world. He looks cool, right? Quote unquote cool, right? Leather jackets, cool, right? But then there's no substance behind the appearance, all right? It's almost like a hot blonde girl, all right? And think about it, right? Cody Rhodes is like, what, 43 years old or something, man? All right, this guy's on his way out, all right? He does wrestle great in the ring. I'll give him that, all right? I think he's one of the most smoothest wrestlers, in the WWE. However, the gimmick of him being this smiley American guy, right, who kisses babies on the heads, is not working for me, okay? The thing is with John Cena, he did everything that Cody Rhodes is doing, right? But it felt honest. It felt real. Okay, John Cena is that type of guy to be a face. He's that type of guy to, kiss babies on the head and, spend extra time with the fans, right? With Cody Rhodes, did he ever do that shit when he was a mid-carder? Right, that is my question. Did he ever try to fucking, go to these Make-A-Wish Foundation things when he was a mid-carder, when he was Stardust, right? When he was a fucking mustache guy, right? Whatever that gimmick was, he had a mustache, right, in a long jacket. Did he ever try and attempt to do those things, right? Or was he just like smoking in the back, fucking around with Randy Orton, pulling fucking toilets and urinals off the fucking wall, right? Because that's what I heard. That's what I heard. All right. With John Cena, it's like right away, you can tell that this guy is like, he's destined to be this top guy. He's destined to be the guy to fucking, again, sit down with Make-A-Wish Foundation kids, do great charity work. That was John Cena. Okay. Now, Cody Rhodes, he's trying to fill up he's trying to fill those shoes and try to follow that same business model, that same fucking character as John Cena. All right. But it's just with a suit. Right? And that's the thing. It feels weird because this guy is in the most expensive suit, right? And he's doing homeless charity food drives and shit. Like, what are you doing? I don't get that, right? It kind of contradicts itself, right? Look, I'm not saying that Cody Rhodes has to come out and look like Bum Corbin every single night. No. Right? I think that the suit is nice. The suits are, part of his character. However, I don't think Triple H and the creative team get their idea across in a profound way, all right? I've seen the promo with, Cody Rhodes saying that the suit is his shield or something like that. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm a professional, and, every single day I put this company on my back, and I respect you, I don't know, all right? He said some bullshit like that, okay? But it just seems cheap and shallow, right? Of course it's your shield. Right? Everybody who goes to work and wears a tuxedo, wears a fucking blazer, everybody who's in corporate who dresses like Cody Rhodes, they're also shielding their emotions. They're also shielding their identity. All right? And that's what it feels like with Cody Rhodes. It's not his real identity. It's just a shield. It's just a corporate shield. It's fugazi. It's trash. Right? I don't want to see that. All right? With John Cena, you can tell it hit harder because he was coming at it with an approach of he's not trying to impress anybody. He's wearing dad running shoes. He's wearing jorts. He's wearing a t-shirt with bright colors, right? It felt honest and genuine, okay? That was his brand identity. He didn't give a shit, okay? With Cody Rhodes, it's just yeah. Who's going to dress up for Halloween, wearing a suit and looking like Cody Rhodes? That's not cool, right? That just looks like Slender Man. Right? Or that looks like fucking the next guy who's wearing a tuxedo. Right? Agent 47. I don't even know. Right? It looks like that. Right? It looks like Hitman. Right? That from that game. What I'm saying is, it's trash. They need to scrap the tuxedo shit. The fucking blazer shit. The suit shit. I hate it all. Alright? Bum Corbin is better. I want to see Bum Corbin out there. Cut in a promo. Bum Cody. I want to see Bum Cody out there cutting a promo, right? Make this shit interesting because right now it is not interesting, okay? He comes out there, whoa, and that's it, right? Now, trust me, I loved Cody Rhodes back then, all right? The grotesque Cody was my favorite Cody, all right? That shit was cool. Most of you guys probably don't even remember that shit, right? But in 2011, this guy, right? He broke his nose. First, he was dashing Cody Rhodes, right? Glazing himself in the mirror, right? Whoa, what is smoking me, whoa? And then, yeah, right, he got his nose broken, I'm pretty sure, by Rey Mysterio's 619. And then, boom, he wore the mask. He's grotesque. And I thought it was very fucking cool, right? I want to see some shit like that, right? Something creative. The title for the QB1 will be up for grabs this Saturday at Crown Jewel, at Crown Stool, all right, against Seth Rollins. Yeah, and honestly, I don't really give a shit who wins. I think either or, Seth Rollins, if he wins, yeah, whatever, okay? Like, he proved everybody wrong. He proved Paul Heyman wrong. And I honestly see them going into that direction, to be honest, right? Triple H is not going to let Seth Rollins lose, all right? Especially building up like this, right? Making him believe, otherwise, essentially, right? Saying that, oh, fuck, I don't know if I can beat Cody, right? I don't know if I can be the top guy. If Cody Rhodes wins and just crushes Seth Rollins, who knows what will happen with the Vision? I think the Vision are probably going to break up. Braun Breaker, he's going to be the new leader of that group. Maybe they have a feud between them, right? Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman. He's like, oh yeah, who should I be the wise man for? Me personally, I'd like to see Brock Lesnar try to take over the Vision, and he's the new leader. I think that would be an interesting angle, and it honestly just like it makes the dynamic between Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins a lot more interesting. Who's the real alpha of the WWE? You guys remember when Seth Rollins, he called himself an alpha, right? I think maybe they're dropping seeds here, hinting a feud between Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, all right? If Brock Lesnar's the leader of the Vision, it would honestly make everybody look better, okay? Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker. It would make them look like they're being taught, right? Being mentored by an actual beast, an actual stud, an actual, killer, man. This guy, right? The next big thing, think about it. He is the Vision. He was the Vision. Right, that should be the angle within the story of like Brock Lesnar. He knows all about being the guy. He knows all about being the future of the WWE. He knows. Seth Rollins, he knows as well, but to like a different extent, right? He was in the Shield at first. They had to debut him with two other guys, and then he got chosen and basically groomed to be the Authority's fucking star, right? Whatever. Okay, they can do that angle of like, Brock Lesnar, the next big thing, versus Seth Rollins, Authority, right? That should be the premise. Yeah, man, I'd like to see that shit, all right? Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Cody Rhodes. Do you guys like Cody Rhodes? I know some of you guys like Cody Rhodes. He brings good energy in terms of like his entrance and shit, but other than that, like I said, it's a nothing burger, right? He comes out there, he yaps, I respect you, all this bullshit. It's repetitive, and, it's honestly just, it makes me fall asleep, to be honest, right? Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys already know what this is, all right? The high, rise, live it, work, why, steal it, Intern, ja.